Hey viewers, welcome to another game with Casual Pro Gamer. Once again we are doing a game between EGIdrA and iSAxslav. And yeah, we saw game one, a very interesting game, a very close game. Actually both players mined out in the end, and yeah, both players unable to support any armies anymore, and the last battle was that of desperation for both of them. And unfortunately, one of them had to lose. So I won't give away who actually won that one. But it is 1-0 for one of them. And we are going to see probably similar strategy because, well, the strategies between Protoss and Zerg are pretty standard. They're pretty much standardized by now. Yeah, both of them just creating some extra supply, that's what it's called. Both creating some extra room for more drones, more probes, and afterwards we will see the Protoss going for a forge over here, and our Zerg player is either going to fast expand or he is going to plop down an early spawning pool, but whatever he does, it is spotted by this this probe, and he is going for the early spawning pool here. And the probe, I'm not sure if you saw that. Let's have a look. Yeah, he did see that, so no surprises there, because he did go out of the base and yeah, wow. That is nasty. Putting down a pylon there just to make sure that there is no expansion coming up. And putting down another pylon over here. This pylon actually finishing. That means 100 minerals spent. This is another 100 minerals if he lets it finish. But yeah, you can see he has had that 300 minerals for quite a long time. And he is, well, kind of desperate to spend that on something useful. Obviously he is going to be able to do some or to spend some of that, but yeah, he eventually does get a hatchery going. And the first 4 Zerglings, well, 3 of them, are going to take out this pylon, no problem. And then the other one is going to chase down this probe and will actually get that if, well, if he chases long enough, because I think the Zergling is just faster than the probe and will hit it every now and then, although it seems that the shields are regenerating when he can run one line. And yes, the shields are regenerating again after taking 2 hits. There goes 1 hit. It's kind of sad, but the Zergling is not going to be able to chase him down. Yeah, 1 hit and 2 hits. But yeah, the probe is going to make it home. So gateway coming up just to make sure that this cannon is protected. That's why he placed it over there. Obviously that's not the reason he makes a gateway. And then once again the cybernetics core, making sure that this wall off is complete, except for a little bit over here. There's a little gap, and he's going to put down a unit, well, probably a zealot in there to make sure that there are no run-bys. It is pretty standard play, we see it every game, and we see another hatchery coming up for our Zerg player here. Once again going for 3 bases. Hopefully this time he will actually get to keep his 3rd base, because last time he lost it quite a few times. And yeah, Zerg has to have more bases than Protoss or Terran in order to win, because the Zerg units are just not as cost effective and they get killed quite easily. And I think the probe is going to die now. Yep, there we go. Not managing to run that home just this time. Someone is attacking something. There we go. One lone zealot attacking this these destructible rocks, and it's going to take him quite a long time to do so, doing 5 damage with each slash, and obviously he has a double slash, so 10 damage each time. But yeah, destroying these destructible rocks makes it a lot easier to defend this base, because you have this direct supply from your main base, or your natural expansion into this side. He's going to put down another cannon over here and a gateway. The gateway is just to make sure that there are no run-bys, so that's why he places it over here, and he's going to make a whole wall of it, making sure that the Zerg will have to run all the way over here and then gets hammered on by these cannons, placing down another cannon, and a lot of Zerglings now coming out. Those are actually 17 Zerglings, and the speed is almost done. As we can see here, the speed will finish in a few seconds, and then he might actually be able to run past this, because this one cannon is not going to be able to do all that. He is going to surround the cannons and take them down pretty easily, actually. Losing a few Zerglings there, but not too much, so not worried about that. And he is going to make sure that this cannon gets taken down as well. And more cannons coming up, because, well, the Protoss player has to hold this in order to make sure that his base is safe. And now the Nexus completes. So quite a bit of damage done there by our Zerg player. And let's see, the resources lost. No, lost. That's units lost. Yeah, who cares? So our Protoss player here lost about 750. Zerg player 450, and that is mostly the cannons. One of the come on, what are they called? The sentries. One of the sentries producing this hallucination here, and the hallucination is going to just spot everything going on. Sees this extra hatchery coming up, and sees all of these bases, sees all of the units that are out, and is eventually going to die, obviously, because it is a hallucination. It will die on its own. There is a new hallucination coming in now, and yeah, he is just, or they're just there to spot these, the new buildings, as well as the creep spread, the unit composition, things like that. And I think it's set to patrol here. Yeah, it is. So it will spot all of these Zerglings gathering up, and actually doing a good job spotting there. So a huge wave of Zerglings coming in, but apparently afraid there. I don't know why, because there's only one cannon there. Well, there are 4 cannons here. 5th cannon coming up. Just wanted to check out what the situation is. Oh, there are 2 cannons, never mind. I'm completely blind, apparently. And there is yet another hallucination coming up. So the hallucinations are a really good way to spot the enemy army, and especially if you have this many sentries. He has 8 sentries, and their energy is pretty good. So he has a little bit too much energy for, well, for all of them. So obviously they're going to use some force fields, but since they can gather up quite a bit of energy, spending and the Guardian Shield, of course, but yeah, you can only have Guardian Shield up on one of your units. Well, multiples don't stack. You can have it up on everyone, of course. And the hallucination, yeah, it's it's free actually. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Okay, so hallucination apparently free after you research it, which does make sense in this case. It also makes sense to try to hallucinate some other units than the Phoenixes, just to make sure that his things don't get killed as easily. And oh, these High Templars in some real trouble. Oh, getting sniped before they do anything there. That is a huge loss for our Protoss player. Yeah, losing this one Zealot as well. Or going to lose it. Yep, there we go. Finally does lose it. So yeah, the Protoss ball over here with some hallucinations in there. Well, actually the Colossus is hallucinated. And yeah, that makes sense because the Colossus can actually be very scary for your opponents. So they're going to try to focus it. And if you protect it well, then they are going to lose a whole lot of resources just to kill your hallucination. And yeah, bailing bombs going on here. And that means that most of the army of the Protoss player is lost now, gets killed. And these well, gateway units, yeah, they are able to get to the Zerg, but the Zerglings just running out and living to fight another day. They're not really interested in engaging these low-cost, very effective units. They're much more interested in getting the high-tech units. And yeah, he does lose a few of the Zerglings there because they got caught. But overall, a large army here, a large amount of Zerglings. How many do we have? We have, wow, 104 drones, really. We have 85 Zerglings going on here. I'm going to shut off the unit tab for now. A lot of infestors going down, and yeah, they don't have the neural parasite, which isn't, well, the most useful against these units anyway, although having this Archon would be pretty nice. And yeah, it's just a matter of trying to find the right position to attack from. And it seems that there is a new base going up here. The Zerg player noticed that, of course, because, well, he did see the pylons going down. So he is going to know that there are 4 bases for this Protoss player, one of which is mined out. And we see Brood Lords in the air now. The Brood Lords that are going to do really well against these the gateway units, as long as they can get protected. And yeah, apparently they did get protection because most of them are still alive. And yeah, the Protoss backs out once again. So, High Templar being warped in here, and I'm not sure how much energy they will have. They all used it in the previous fight. So he is going to keep them as High Templar, not morphing them to Archons just yet. Yeah, it you do lose the ability to storm, and because of that, it is oftentimes useful to not morph them into Archons right away. And wow, these Brood Lords, yeah, they're going to mess up these gateway units quite easily. And yeah, the Stalkers blinking in, eventually getting some damage done on the Brood Lords, but the Brood Lords now in a spot where they cannot be seen, I think. Yeah, I'm assuming. And the Blink Stalkers, yeah, they are really effective, but you need a lot of them to actually take out the Brood Lords. Brood Lords very good at taking down cannons, obviously, because they have way bigger range. And oh, Fungal Growth plus Zerglings takes out the Stalker force once again, making these Brood Lords even more effective than they already were. This game is definitely not won yet. Yeah, the Brood Lords once again under attack from the Blink Stalkers, and the Stalkers just getting taken out by everything. And this is, in fact, Idra's game now. So well played, defending his Brood Lords, and that was all he needed to do. getting a few infestors. Last time we saw an EGIdRA game, he had a lot of infestors, and they got killed instantly every time before they could do anything. But this time, using them to just fungal growth the stalkers, making sure that the Zerglings and the Brood Lord, the Brood Lords or Broodlings or whatever, takes out the stalker force, and after that, it is pretty easy to to just move forward. And yeah, with this fort base being under attack and never going to mine, it is very hard for our Protoss player to come back from that. This base almost mined out. This base was mined out, well, except for, I don't know, yeah, like 100 minerals each. Well, 200 minerals each, I guess. And yeah, well, these are also, well, 300 minerals each. So you can see the problem in that. And this base is still mining, but one base versus, well, the entire rest of the map and your army being slaughtered. Yeah, that's not a good situation to be in. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. GG.